Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, Senior Pastor of New Life Christian Center, located at 400 Hillcrest Avenue in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. We are the brown brick building located right on the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road. There's parking on Hillcrest. Service begins every Sunday at 10 a.m. We invite you to come worship with us, come and experience a better quality of life. Every Sunday at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. And I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, I don't want you to miss this, so I'm going to share this with you right now. And that is that we are going to be having a Christmas Eve service. I'm just starting to announce this now because you don't want to miss the next 4 services. The next 2 Sundays, not Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve service. New Year's Eve service and the first Sunday of the new year. We're going to be doing something very special, and I don't want you to miss it. We don't want you to miss it. We want you to come and want you to experience a better quality of life. So on this coming Sunday, we're going to be having a reveal party right there at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. If you're not in our area, you can tune in every Sunday morning. We are Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We are RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. You can go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, click on radio. The Dropbox will appear. Click on New Life, and our broadcast will go live at 10:45 a.m. on Sunday mornings. You don't want to miss this. But once again, you also don't want to miss New Year's Eve from 6:30 p.m. until 8 p.m. at New Life Christian Center. I'm going to say to all of our listeners and viewers, we are here Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is broadcast from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio. And we are live right here for you. This broadcast, as always, is brought to you by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable, artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, guaranteed to never run out, and it is untouched by human hands until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Fiji Water from FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contributions pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, we thank you for your commitment and your support as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you, to discuss whatever topics are important to you, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. You can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, blending families, raising children and blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are committed to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that the people in your life expect you to be perfect. However, you understand that you are not, and you want them to understand that you are not perfect. So you want to know, what can you do to help others understand that you struggle with you struggle with being imperfect just as they do. So let me begin by saying this. The one thing that is certain is none of us are perfect. So you have accepted that realization. You know you're not perfect. Here's a news flash for you. They know you're not perfect also. They don't really expect you to be perfect. What they want to do is watch you make mistakes so that they can feel better about themselves. Now let me explain to everyone what that looks like. So there are many of us who live in a fishbowl or an aquarium, meaning that all eyes are on you. You know how you go to the aquarium and you stand outside the tank and you watch the fish, the sharks, the barracudas, whatever's in the glass, you watch them swim and go by. All eyes are on them, not on you watching them. But here's the reality. When you are a Christian and you have claimed to be a Christian, what you have claimed is that I intend to live the best quality of life that I can possibly live. I'm going to make a conscious decision to sin less over the course of my lifetime. And because you make that conscious decision, you begin to sin less every day. Now, having said that, because you've now made this proclamation, and because you've decided that you're going to be set apart, you're going to be different than everyone else who's not living a Christian life, even those who claim to be Christians but choose to add some things to the equation. You know what's really interesting is that even as Christians, we add things to the equation of being Christians so that we can use the analogy that God knows our heart. In other words, our justification is that God knows our heart. So I can be a Christian and I can drink wine because God knows my heart. I can be a Christian and I can go to the casinos because God knows my heart. I can be a Christian and I can smoke because God knows my heart. I can be a Christian and I can drink because God knows my heart. I can be a Christian and I can indulge in things that are not only pleasing unto God, but not even acceptable to God because God knows my heart. That's our justification. The truth is God does know your heart, and God knows that we know better. So because you have been choosing to live even a different life by abstaining from things that are not good, let me rephrase, that are not acceptable or pleasing unto God, by making a conscious decision that every day when you get up, you're going to try to be a better Christian than you were the day before. You're going to do, what begins to happen is that your light not only shines, but your light begins to shine brighter. And when your light begins to shine brighter because every day you're improving and progressing as a Christian, when the light begins to shine brighter, those around you, it begins to hurt their eyes. And what I mean by that is the light is shining in their eyes. So now what happens is not only are all eyes on you because they're trying to use your behavior as an example, all eyes are on you because they want to see you make a mistake. And the reason they want to see you make a mistake is so that they will feel better about themselves. They'll feel better if they choose to sin. They'll feel better if they sin even unknowingly. They'll feel better about themselves even if they're not necessarily committing a sin, but they're doing something that is out of the perfect will of God. They feel better about themselves every time you make a mistake. Now, the problem with that is that because they're only sitting around examining you, they never spend any time examining themselves. They just feel better about themselves. But what they should be doing is using you as an example to examine themselves and say, I can do better also. God is not the respecter of persons. So if he's given you the power to set aside the things of the world, he'll give them the power also. But they have to be willing to tap into that power. So you know when you go to church, your church is reopened also in the area that you're in. When you go to church every Sunday, and they go to church some Sundays, they're waiting for you to take a Sunday off so that they can feel better about themselves. You don't take every Sunday that you don't take off, your light shines brighter. And instead of them using that as an example to do better, they just wait for you to take off that Sunday. Any given Sunday. They wait for you to take on a cursing spirit. Just one time. All they need to hear is for you to curse one time. Not so that they can say, that's out of character for her. They're just waiting for you to curse one time, to use one word of profanity so that they can feel good about themselves when they drop a bomb. You got to understand what's going on here. They're not really expecting you to be perfect, because none of us are Jesus. None of us are perfect. We're all sinners saved by grace. We are all going to sin and fall short of the glory of God. We just don't have to do it daily. And here's the reality. They only want to see you make a mistake because today it will make them feel better about themselves. Because guess what's going to happen? Every time they go back to doing what they've always done, the Holy Spirit, if they're a Christian, the Holy Spirit is going to convict them. So they're only going to feel good for a moment. But then they can say to you, well, you're not perfect either. But you already know that. And here's what your rebuttal. When someone makes that comment to you, because I promise you, you're going to hear that again. When someone says to you, well, you're not perfect either, your rebuttal to that is, I already know. I'm already aware. I'm not perfect. I'm being perfected. And that's what we're striving for every single day, is that we can be perfected, which means that we are better today than we were yesterday. We were better yesterday than we were a week ago. We were better a week ago than we were a month ago. We were better a month ago than we were a year ago. But, however, I'm not going to focus on the past. What I'm going to focus on is the present and the future, because I have to live in the present, but I'm developing my future every single day, and that's what we all should be doing. The problem is these same people that have all their eyes on you, they're not developing themselves daily. They're not focused on becoming better. They're just focused on making certain that they can identify what you do wrong so that they can feel better about themselves. All eyes are on us. All eyes are on us who are trying to walk this Christian walk, live this Christian faith, and become the best version of ourselves. When I say the best version of ourselves, the best Christian that we can possibly become, the best human being that we can possibly become, and live our lives to give God all the glory. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you're not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your husband is handsome, has a great personality, and much charisma. Women are always trying to get his attention, and although he never gives them attention, they keep trying. Well, here's the good news. You got a good man. Think about this. You should be proud that your husband is someone that other people take an interest in. Okay, that's the first thing. You have the right to be proud that God has given you someone who is well respected, well liked, and that he's appealing to other people. You also said he has a great personality. So that means that he is respectful to others. He's outgoing. You said he has a lot of charisma. You know, you use the term swag, but I'm, he has a lot of charisma. That is going to attract people to him in many ways. So he's got three things going on that automatically attract people to him. But the fact of the matter is, he's not giving them, other than being polite, he's not giving them any, as a young, maybe not the young generation, but as the generation, my generation, the generation right behind me, we say, he's not giving them any play. He's not giving them any attention other than to be cordial, be respectful, and be who he is. They're going to keep trying. You're standing in the gap, present. They see you. But that doesn't mean they're not going to try. The fact of the matter is, when he turns and walks away, he walks with you. Don't allow what others do to create any insecurity in you that is going to disrupt your marriage. Your husband is not interested in going anywhere. He's not interested in being with anyone else. He is trying to live his life with his wife and his family. You just have a good man. And according to you, he's the package. He's the whole thing, the whole deal. Good looking, great personality, and swag. Be thankful for what you have, because he belongs to you. And I know there are people who will struggle with that when I say he belongs to you. But he is your gift from God and you are his gift from God. So you belong to one another. At the end of the day, you two belong to one another. It is a gift from God that God has ordained for your lives. And neither of you are going anywhere. And for that, to God be the glory. You're committed to your marriage. You're committed to your relationship. You're committed to your family, to building a great quality of life. It really doesn't get any better than that. Now all you have to do is keep enjoying the life that God has given you, and don't allow anyone to interfere with that just by their presence, because that's all they get, is to be in the presence. And let me say this to you. You and your husband, and you're not in my area, I don't know you personally, but I know what God shows me in that secret place of your lives. You and your husband have a very special anointing. And that is that your love for one another is beyond what society has termed as love. Your love is based on friendship, caring, trusting in your marriage that neither one of you are going anywhere, believing that God will continue to bless your lives and the life of your children. Your children are young adolescents. They're not adults. They're being blessed by witnessing your life together. Stay in that place. One thing that I encourage married couples to do is to never look for a problem. If you look for a problem, there's going to be a problem. What you don't want is your marriage to become a problem, because when your marriage becomes a problem, then it becomes a burden, and sooner or later the burden will become too heavy to carry, and that's when couples begin to go their separate ways. The process of going their separate ways. You want to rejoice in your marriage. And for all the married couples out there, you've all heard me talk about marriage is not a job. It is work to build a great quality of life. But it's not a job, so don't make it a job. Well, the other thing is, don't ever make your marriage become a problem. And the way that you avoid that is by not looking for a problem. It's real easy to go, the last listener and viewer I spoke to today, it wasn't about that. But here's what we have to recognize is that if you are looking for imperfection, you're going to find imperfection. You can find that all day long. You can find that just around the house. You don't like the way your spouse hangs his coat in the closet. You don't like the way he puts his shoes on by the door. You don't like, I'm not talking about on the shoe rack, I'm talking about by the door, in front of the door. Just ask them to move them. You know, marriage doesn't have to be a problem. It doesn't even, listen to this. One of the misconceptions that society has developed in teaching us, and the reason that we have a divorce rate that's about 50% in America, is because society has taught us that everything's a problem. We should be looking for problems. We shouldn't be looking for problems. We should be looking for peace. Searching for peace. And when you find peace, you'll not only find peace, but you'll begin to find peace that surpasses all understanding, and eventually you'll get into a place of perfect peace, where all is well, not just with your soul, but with your body, mind, and your spirit. And so I want to encourage you, enjoy the blessing that God has given you, and he's going to enjoy the blessing that God has given him, and you both will have an amazing life, an amazing marriage, and be blessed exceeding abundantly above all that you can ask or think. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at their retail stores. They have everything that a man could possibly need. They have shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirt.com. And if you are in any of those areas, you can still order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. I'm in Charles Tyrwhitt attire today, and The White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. If you're in New York, stop in at their retail store. You never know when you may see me there. At The White Company on Fifth Avenue in New York. If you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They have everything you could possibly need. They have home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. I'm sure that my wife and I will be there at some point. Say hello at The White Company on Fifth Avenue in New York. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have been dating a guy for 3 years. However, you do not feel the relationship is leading to marriage and you want to know what should you do. Well, here's the truth of the matter. The two of you have been dating. What you left out of your communication is that not only have you been dating, but you've been cohabitating. You left that out, but it's okay. Think about this. You've got 3 years invested. If you haven't had those conversations, it's time to start having those conversations. If you had those conversations, but they didn't develop into something else, it's time to develop those into something else. And here's why. When you're living together without holy matrimony, what you're doing is, first of all, delaying your destiny. And second of all, you are blocking the blessings of God. And I'm going to tell you why. So there's blessings that God has assigned for the two of you. There's blessings that God has purposed for the two of you. But until you're walking together in holy matrimony, you can't receive those blessings. That doesn't imply you won't be blessed, even in your cohabitation. You're living together, you're saving some money, that's all nice. You're working every day, you've been blessed to have jobs, careers. That's nice too. But you want the fullness of God. You don't want just the particles of God. You want the fullness of God. In order to get into the fullness of God, you have to walk together in agreement, equally yoked, under the umbrella of holy matrimony. The holy matrimony is like a holding company. Here I go with the investment aspect of it. It's like a holding company that owns various entities. So that holding company, holy matrimony, it's the holding company of your careers. It's the holding company of your ability to develop your family. You don't have a family yet, but to be able to have a family and develop that family. It's a holding company for your quality of life. It's a holding company for you experiencing the blessings of God beyond your own expectations. That's what holy matrimony does. You got to come together under that umbrella, under that holding company, where the fullness of God is held that God has for the two of you. So if you at this point, 3 years, you should have known after the first year whether or not you were going to spend your lives together. But it's been 3 years. You've gotten comfortable doing what you're doing right now because you don't have any children. You both have a career. You're working every day. You're going about your business. You have friends that you hang out with. He has friends that he hangs out with. All of that's nice. It doesn't mean you still can't have friends after you're married. You'll develop new circles of friends also, because you'll begin to meet other couples and you'll begin to do things with other couples. The best quality of life lies in your relationship with God, in your holy matrimony. Understanding that God has so much more for you, but you have to get under the umbrella. You have to get under the party tent. You have to really get to the place where God holds all the blessings for the two of your lives together. Could you be blessed individually? Yes. But you've got to, you don't feel that the relationship leading to marriage because you two haven't sat down and had these real conversations. So I'm going to encourage you, ask him to watch today's broadcast with you and sit and listen to what the Spirit is saying to you, the two of you. Get to the place where all of the blessings, the abundant blessings, the fullness of God lies in your holy matrimony. It's time. He's a good man, you're a good woman. It's time for the two of you to come together as one, as man and wife. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast is brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. I really hope that if you're in our area, you'll come and worship with us on Sunday at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, at the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road in Wilmington, Delaware.